Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. A final rule has now been established. The final rule is outlining specific procedures for the VA. I wanted to share this with you. Before we jump into it, though, I want to throw out a very special thank you to Roy Schofield 7123. Roy Schofield, thank you so much for the super comment, super chat. I really, really do appreciate your support very much. All right, so I found this information on, let's see, FedSmith. It is fedsmith.com. It recently came out, and it was July 25th, 2025, by an Ian Smith. And I wanted to share it with you because when things impact the VA, they're going to impact us, right? In some way, some which way. So with that, hit the thumbs up for me, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Stan in the background, for those that don't know, he's a rooster and he makes rooster sounds. All right. So, all right, let's jump into it here. Thumbs up and subscribe. I appreciate you. All right. So the OPM has issued a final rule outlining procedures for the VA federal employees to appeal agency recoupment of financial awards. All right, so this is the OPM essentially telling the VA what they can and cannot do. So appealing VA decisions to recoup awards and bonuses. This new rule is out from the OPM. And I'm curious to see what the Office of Personnel Management is actually telling the VA that they can or cannot do. And look, the surface stuff is, look, this doesn't impact me. It's just it's the internal VA stuff. But sometimes there's the 3 or 4 questions deep where we go, okay, well, could impact employees in such a way that other employees start to get stressed out and not happy, and then they leave, right? So we already have this plan of eliminating 30,000 employees. What if another 5 or 10 are like, you know what, this is just too bouncing all over the place, I'm done, and they leave, right? What if we surpass the 30,000? I get it, you can always hire new ones, but it takes time to ramp up. Right? It's a lot of training. Once you get your cheeks in the seats, so to speak, it's not necessarily full speed ahead. All right, so let's jump into it. The Office of Personnel Management has issued a final rule in the Federal Register to implement provisions of the Department of Veterans Affairs Accountability and Whistleblower Protection Act of 2017. This rule, effective August 25th, 2025, so that's coming up, outlines the process for current and former VA employees to appeal decisions related to the recoupment of awards, bonuses, and relocation expenses. Here's what federal employees need to know about the purpose of this rule and its implications. The purpose of the final rule is under the Act, the Secretary of the VA is authorized to recoup awards, bonuses, and relocation expenses from federal employees for misconduct, poor performance, fraud, or malfeasance. So here's here's how that works, right? Hey, we're going to give you a bonus. We're going to give you extra money. We're going to give you whatever it is, but you can't screw up, at least for a certain amount of time. Otherwise, it's kind of null and void is essentially what's happening here. Employees have the right to appeal these orders to the Director of the Office of Personnel Management. This final rule addresses these types of appeals. The final rule aims to establish clear procedures for employees to appeal recoupment orders issued by the Secretary of the VA. Specifically, it addresses these situations, and there's really 2 bullet points. So, awards or bonuses, the VA seeks repayment if it determines that misconduct or poor performance occurred before the award or bonus was paid. Okay, so it's if you did good through this and then you get your bonus, but then you find out that, oh, well, back here you were committing fraud, so we're going to recoup that. That makes sense. All right. The award or bonus was paid, and the payment wouldn't have been made had this been known. Okay, sure. I agree. Next one, relocation expenses. Repayment is required if the relocation expenses were authorized based on fraudulent actions or malfeasance, however that works. This rule ensures that employees are afforded due process, including notification of proposed recoupments and the opportunity to respond before final decisions are made. Key provisions and appeal procedures. Notification and response. Employees will receive formal notice of any proposed recoupment. They will have 10 business days to respond to the notice. Number 2, the appeal process. If a recoupment order is issued, the employee can appeal to the director of OPM within 7 business days. The appeal must be in writing, including relevant documents such as the original order and the employee's response. Decision timeline. The OPM will review the appeal based on the written record and will issue a final decision within 30 business days. The last part here is number 4, the finality of decisions. OPM's decisions on appeals are final and cannot be reconsidered within the agency. The law does not specify provisions for judicial review, meaning employees may need to consult legal counsel if they wish to pursue further action. Implications. Really? Nice. Implications for federal employees. The rule stress, in fact, that will be the word. Implications. That's the word. If you made it to 6.5 minutes, throw that in the comments. I don't even know how to spell it. Anyway, the rule stresses that while it does give federal employees an appeal process, the burden of proof is on the employee. It states, and there's a quotation here, the burden is upon the employee to establish the timelines of the appeal and to explain why the VA's order is in error. OPM may uphold the VA's order if the employee or their designated representative fails to provide required information. As noted previously, OPM will also uphold the VA order if the appeal was untimely filed without good cause shown for delay. Additionally, the rule reinforces the fact that OPM's decision on these appeals is final. It states there will not be any further administrative review available within OPM, and thus this rule does not establish any process for request for reconsideration. It adds, however, that the Act does not provide any details about judicial review of OPM's decision regarding appeals. The final rule states the law is silent regarding any statutory right to judicial review of an OPM appeal decision. Accordingly, although OPM will send its appeal decision to the employee, OPM will not provide an accompanying statement of appeal rights. The conclusion here, OPM's final rule provides a structured framework for appealing recoupment decisions in an effort to ensure fairness and accountability within the federal workforce. Federal employees will, within the VA impacted by these provisions, should familiarize themselves with the appeal procedures to protect their rights effectively. With that concludes it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you very much. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.